This has to be up there on the all-time list of things no guy wants ever. Man-boobs. We're not talking about the medical condition, but the horrifying results of not being in shape and seeing your chest take the punishment. Because a well-developed chest is one of the most masculine of all masculine traits. We even find it in nature. You're not going to see his chest soft and weak. Same with us. We need a chest that is strong, muscular, and aesthetic. Nothing else will do. And for that, we have 4 different ways to combat that fat accumulation around your pecs and put in place proven solutions. Okay, let's get into it. The way to solve any problem is to identify the root causes. For man-boobs, there are several, but only a handful that are really critical, and we're going to solve them. These are muscle development, hormone balance, HIIT-type cardio, and of course, nutrition. But first, let's look at spot reduction. We are talking about man-boobs, so let's talk specifically about targeting just that area. Yeah, you can't. Let's just crush that myth once and for all. You cannot spot reduce. That is not how the human body works. At least outside of liposuction, the way to reduce fat is the way it went on, in reverse. You didn't develop fat stores overnight, and you're not going to eliminate them overnight. Sounds dreary, but that's actually what we want. To get into shape, there are no quick fixes. There are best practices and ways to accelerate gains and fat loss. But the real fix is something that you will stick with for the long term. Motivation gets you off the couch, results keep you coming back for more, and habits make it stick for the long haul. Okay, myth busted. Let's get into what works for getting rid of that chest fat. First, pec muscle development. One of the first things we think about is pec muscle development, but we can't forget what we just discussed. So the development of muscle is all muscle in your body. That's everywhere, including your pec muscles. Resistance training is one of the world's superpowers of fitness. So speed up the fat loss, build muscle. To get strong and aesthetic, build muscle. Lifting to build muscle is so critical to male health that without it, you can almost guarantee failure. So if you don't like the look of your soft chest, then do squats, do lunges, do pull-ups, curls, and yes, of course, do bench and push-ups. Give your body the engine it needs to burn the fat you loathe. Remember, the exercise itself will burn fuel stores, not in a significant amount, but it does count. But key is muscle burns fat after the workout. It's building a more powerful motor, a motor that needs fuel. And if you do it right, your body will go into a natural fat-burning mode. Now, when we do focus on the chest, there are a couple of standout exercises. First and foremost is the push-up. Not the bench press, the push-up. Why? Because it's the foundational exercise for the chest. It's remarkable how many times you see a strong-looking dude actually struggle with push-ups. They are that good. And you could do them anywhere, and the move can be made very, very challenging. Changing your hand positions, changing the position of your feet, moving push-ups, plyo push-ups, the list goes on. But does that mean the bench is no good? The opposite, of course. But start with push-ups. Then move to the bench when you're at the gym or when your push-ups are in a solid foundationary position. Then go into bench variations like dumbbell flies or fly machines or any other variation for your chest. But start with push-ups. They are the best. Second is the other superpower, nutrition. Your body holds on to fat because you created a calorie surplus somewhere in the past. Don't deny it, own it. Almost everybody has done it, even the ripped guys. So within this critical category of health, there are only a handful of base principles that you must adhere to: carb reduction and protein surplus. Or another way to look at it is lose the junk and add in the meat. What is the biggest culprit of junk food? Sugar. Sugar and starchy carbs. And yes, those are the tastiest foods ever created. But your taste buds bamboozle your body into thinking you have found something good when indeed it hasn't. Replace it. Your body struggles with sugar. It's unnatural and does not exist in nature in the granulated or powdered or liquid form that we have processed it into. And remember, starchy carbs are converted into sugar right when you eat it. So try to swap it out. Think barbecue, eat meat, chicken, fish, as much as you want. That sounds way too good to be true, but with a super nutrient-dense food like steak, your body just cuts you off. Halfway through your second steak, you're stuffed and satiated well into the next day. It's the way of nature, so take advantage of it. Your body will naturally then turn to burning its stores of fat. We go into detail on this in other videos, but remember, all quote diets have the potential to work. The key is whether you can actually eat it and whether you can sustain it. That is, turning a diet into a way of eating without having to constantly think about eating. If you do choose to cut calories drastically to kickstart your fat loss, just have a definite plan and schedule to merge into. You want a long-term way of eating, not a short-term recipe for failure. All right, so we know the biggest factors. Let's supercharge the reduction of our man-boobs with other solutions. First is HIIT, high-intensity interval training. This is a fantastic complement to resistance training as the impact on your muscles is very similar. That is, you're breaking them down to build them back stronger and bigger. And as we know, muscle burns fat. Your motor is stronger and demands more energy. So you naturally go into a calorie deficit by eating a little bit less, but really because you're burning more. HIIT not only targets your fat stores, but is a workout with such intensity that it can be done in under a half an hour. And the burn effect lasts for hours after that workout. Second is hormones. Yes, men have estrogen, and the balance between it and testosterone is a factor in fat storage. In addition to man-boobs, higher than normal levels of estrogen can manifest with symptoms of fatigue, low libido, mood swings, and decreased muscle mass. Also, some men can find themselves in a vicious cycle where more body fat leads to higher estrogen levels, which contribute to holding on to that body fat, and so on and so on and so on. The reason for this is fat cells have the ability to produce estrogen. And when the estrogen levels are high in men, the body tends to store that fat in areas common with females, the breast area being one of them. But not all is lost. So there are a number of strategies we can use to ensure that our hormones are tipped towards testosterone. First, get that protein. We've already discussed it, but it goes to show the importance of nutrition for testosterone. Second, be sure that your workouts are consistent, and the workouts must include weightlifting and supplement it with a bit of cardio, ideally HIIT. Try to limit alcohol as best you can. We all like to let loose, but overindulging can have negative effects on your testosterone levels. Same with smoking. Finally, stress control. This is a bit more challenging, but when you're stressed out, a whole host of negative effects can surface to suppress testosterone production. Try to keep the quote glass half full and focus on the positive aspects in your life. Be grateful for what you have and focus on the future and what you intend to build, be that your career, your physique, your family, and so on. And to help with stress is getting enough sleep. Sleep is a factor not much of us focus on given that we do it every night. But low quality sleep can blow up your day, and if it's chronic, can have a disastrous impact on your health. Hormones certainly being one of them. Lift weights hard, cut out sugar, and start barbecuing. Find a short HIIT routine and add it to your weekly exercise schedule. Add in some hormone balancing techniques and watch that nasty chest fat melt away to reveal your true and masculine pec muscles. Check out this video for more male fitness mastery, and we'll see you in the next one.